I'm Katrina Logan, and we have here with us tonight some amazing panelists who have worked with us over the years. So I'd like to invite you all to introduce yourselves.
My name is Anel Becerra, and I'm a first-year associate at Morrison & Foerster.
My name is Nick Nichols. I'm a second-year associate at Goodwin.
I'm Linda Galligan. I'm a partner at Goodwin.
Thank you so much for being here tonight and for agreeing to talk with us about your experiences volunteering with CLESPA and how your experiences have had an impact in your life. CLESPA is so fortunate to have many local law firms that share in our community work. For a deeper introduction, we'd like to learn about how each of you has supported CLESPA and clients in our community.
I've started working with CLESPA probably over a decade ago when my firm started hosting DACA clinics as pro bono opportunities in our offices. I had no exposure to CLESPA before then, but started working with some of the attorneys at CLESPA who supervised us in those DACA clinics. And then it just kind of took off from there with continuing to work in DACA clinics, actually taking on an asylum case, and then joining the board several years ago.
My experience is through the pro bono initiative at Goodwin. I first volunteered a year ago for an asylum clinic, had a great experience, and I've signed up for every clinic that's come through since. So I've done asylum clinics and DACA clinics, and looking forward to doing more.
Great.
I started working with CLESPA about 5 months ago doing the housing clinic. So that happens every week. I've done a few of them. The first were done with other attorneys who were great at guiding me through it. And I've just done a couple since then.
Great.
Yeah.
What role did CLESPA play in supporting your advocacy?
CLESPA really lays the groundwork for these clinics. It's community outreach, it's finding clients that need access to legal services, and then connecting us to them so we can sort of maximize the impact of these clinics and help the greatest number of people in our communities.
That's great. Yeah, and it does take a lot of work to put these clinics together, so
Yeah.
It's good to hear that reflected too. I know that our staff works really hard to make sure that the groundwork is there. You feel comfortable, you feel confident, and sort of knowing what you're getting into. So that's good to hear. What did you find most interesting or satisfying about your pro bono work with CLESPA?
Particularly as you learn about the stories of the clients. We're helping them at one moment in time, but most people have like a very interesting history that they come to.
It's also the direct client interaction. As a first or second year associate, I might get some client interaction, but it's different than that one-on-one volunteering you might have in a clinic. That's only possible because we feel confident going in because of the staff attorneys at CLESPA.
And people are so great about pointing me in the right direction for different resources. If I'm like, I'm not really sure where to find this answer, like, oh, here's a whole wealth of resources available to you.
Yeah.
And it's just been really enriching in that sense too.
Yeah, that's great. So now we want to get a little bit more personal and find out more about how you got into this volunteer work and what the impact it's had on you both personally and professionally.
For me, it is really personal. I think there's a lot of moments in my life where having access to an advocate that would have just been there to even just like listen and help me navigate different situations would have been, I think, changed, if nothing else, the experience that I had going through the process. So it's been really rewarding in that sense, personally, to do that. Professionally, as I said earlier, I think it's been great to learn about different areas of the law and to really cultivate skills that I wouldn't get to cultivate this early on otherwise.
Great.
Personally, I'm a transplant to the Bay Area. I'm originally from Utah, and coming here, I wanted to get involved in the community and engage. So I was looking actively for opportunities to do that. Pro bono gives me the opportunity to work with folks in my firm that I might not otherwise. I primarily work in licensing and corporate work for emerging companies, and getting to jump on remote clinics. Sometimes we have folks that are completely like geographically separate and we'll be paired on something. So I get the benefit of working with them and working on something that we both care about. That's like volunteer work as opposed to our day-to-day. It's a different experience, expectations are different. We're just like learning together and trying to help someone. I think that can be very rewarding and a nice way to get to know people in your firm. But also it connects you to the community and to organizations like CLESPA.
I want to ask you all what motivates you and what sort of brought you to volunteering, and particularly in partnership with CLESPA.
It's about clients who are in the communities where we all live and work, and that's important to me. It feels a bit more meaningful to be kind of more attached to the community and to work with the amazing team who I just have so much respect for.
That's great.
I experienced housing insecurity as well, and I think being able to take those experiences and say, you know what, like, I'm not going through the situation right now as you're going through the situation, but I can understand how you're feeling. I can empathize with the feelings that you have right now, and take the experiences that I felt at the moment and use them to inform kind of the way that I'm going to interact in the situation. For me, that's been, I think, a part that has enriched my ability to be a good advocate.
Linda, as both a CLESPA board member and partner at your law firm, have you ever taken on any full scope cases, and what may have motivated you to do that?
I actually have taken on one asylum case. It started in 2015 and is still ongoing. We did ultimately win asylum for our client, but we're still working on getting visas for her children. The reason why I ended up taking on the case is that I put a challenge out to the associates in our office because I was trying to get people to do more pro bono. A group of associates came into my office and said, we want to take on an asylum case with CLESPA and we'd like you to supervise us. I'm a corporate transactional lawyer. Like, I have never set foot in a courtroom. And I was pretty nervous about taking on the case because it's important, right? It's an asylum case, the stakes are really high. CLESPA definitely walked us through every step of the way. We luckily have professional trial lawyers at our firm who helped me with witness preparation and client prep, but we got through it. And I guess my message would be, if anyone, like if I could do this, anyone could do it with CLESPA's help.
Finally, many of the folks joining us tonight may be considering doing pro bono service with CLESPA. What's one thing about being a pro bono advocate with CLESPA that you would like to be sure that our audience knows?
I think the biggest thing that I would say is to do it. Just do it. If you're scared,
Yes.
if you're nervous, if you're feeling all of the things, just do it. You're going to be supported. You're going to have resources available to help you feel like you're ready for it. And then when you're in the middle of it, you're going to have somebody that believes in you and is telling you, like, you can get this done. So for everybody else, for everybody out there that wants to do the work, I would say do it.
Awesome. Thank you. I want to thank each of you for sharing your experiences and joining us at our virtual fundraising gala. Thank you so much.